If you like money and you like crypto, and even if you like water but hope it doesn't choke you to death, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, guys, if you like our live videos, make sure to smash that like button. We're going to be doing 2 live videos a day in the near future, so let us know what you guys think about that. It's going to be fun. We're going to be doing an evening show before you know it, probably in the next month, so be on the lookout for that. Today, guys, we're going to be looking at some massive news, and also today's show will be known as the Flower Power Hour. As you guys see, I have shown homage to Mr. Lark and his Hawaiian shirts. But guys, today we're going to be talking about a lot of really interesting developments with Bitcoin. And I know sometimes we like to come on here, we look at the charts, we look at price action, and we can say, oh, if this happens, the price might go here, and we'll do some of that. But the stories we're talking about today are so big, they are so massive that they could change the future of Bitcoin forever. We are entering a time to where it's really making me wonder, are we entering into a Bitcoin super cycle? Are we about to see things different than we've ever seen before? Meanwhile, you still got haters saying the price is going to drop down. I don't think so. We're going to be taking a look at that and looking at the chart. Even Plan B, who created the stock to flow chart, says now he thinks even the stock to flow model is low. So if you know what that means, that's pretty crazy. We'll be looking at a digital dollar. We'll be looking at what's going on in Miami. We're going to be going to Miami soon as well, so we'll be telling you about that. Got a big crypto.com story, and then at the end, we'll talk about NFTs. I've got a big video for you guys tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on NFTs. I've got a top 3 NFT video. I'm not going to tell you what those coins are, but these are coins that are going to be massive. Some of them already are massive. We're going to be talking about the cyclical nature of crazes inside of the world of crypto. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Here we go, guys. 668,000 subscribers. Several of you guys were sending me screenshots when we were at 666K. It was quite an evil time in my life. I think I was sleeping. So just a big thank you to the community. If you guys want to enter our Bitcoin giveaway for when we hit 1 million subscribers, we are trucking right along. I mean, it's only been 2 weeks. I think we've added 668K since we started the giveaway details. You can get details about the giveaway on Twitter is a good place to get it, by the way. You guys can head on over to twitter.com. Make sure to go to bitboy_crypto. As you know, we've got a lot of impersonators these days. And right here, you can, we've got 196.2K, trying to get to 200K by the end of the weekend. So make sure you are following. But right there on the pin tweet tells you how you can get access to our wonderful contest here. I can't wait to give away Bitcoin. Are you excited about giving away Bitcoin, TJ?
I'm pumped. I think it's going to be great. Change somebody's life forever.
Absolutely. How much do you think that Bitcoin is going to be worth when we give it away?
Golly. Well, it depends on how fast. I mean, if everybody that's watching right now just subscribed, we could be giving it away in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
Given the current trajectory, it probably pushing 100K.
That's what I think. I think it's going to be 6 figures by the time we give it away. So that will definitely be exciting. A lot of interesting stuff going on on Twitter. This guy, Oren Burks, I don't even know who he is. He's a football player for the Packers, which I usually know my football players. It looks like he's got a receiver number, I think, there. He actually had a Bitcoin tweet. Several NFL players have been making Bitcoin tweets lately. Yeah. Definitely really cool to see. And last thing before we get going on the video, guys, let me head on back over here to New Money Gang. Make sure you guys are subscribed to New Money Gang. This is our How to Make Money Online channel. As you guys can see, we're not selling anything. We're trying to, show you guys what's going on in the world of online money making. Right here we got Turn Passion into Profit. This is the last episode that we did release, me, Justin, Leanne. So you guys make sure to go and check that out. It's a little hidden on the homepage, which is kind of a problem. You got to come over here and watch that video. So almost 20K subscribers over there. So thank you to everybody on subscribing to that channel as well. Let's get that thing over 20K today. Trying to get some watch time so that way we can get this channel monetized and stuff like that. You guys can help us out there by watching these short videos. They're just little minute clips. All right, so let's move on to the markets. Here we go. Here we go into the markets. Do you guys like my shirt?
Yeah, they do like the shirt.
My wife is fire. Okay, she's picking out fire shirts. I saw this one. I was like, okay, I'll put it on. Maybe I kind of sound like Scarface there. I didn't at all. But Miami shirts made me think of Scarface.
Yeah.
Okay, top of the markets here. We got 1.8. This is a record, I think. I think this is a record, guys. I think we just hit a record. Let's see. Let's look at the market cap. I believe we just hit a record for overall market cap. Yes, we did. It looks like yesterday we actually topped off. Or no, a few days ago we hit 1831, actually. So right now we're very close at, what did it say, 1810. That's 1.8 trillion, guys, 1.8 trillion. So that's really good for the market. We got ETH dominance dropping. Why do you guys think that ETH dominance dropped? I would say a lot of people FOMOing into Cardano. Bitcoin dominance staying about the same. And that Bitcoin dominance has been so finicky. It would just not drop. We got 24-hour volume coming in, $127 billion. So that's pretty good. So let's take a look over here at the markets. Yesterday, while we were live on air, we saw some crazy movements from Cardano. But then since yesterday, it's dropped like 10%. I'm really shocked at that. I'm not shocked at that. It should be dropping today. But I think it did. I don't know what it peaked out at yesterday, but I'm just surprised that Binance Coin is still hanging. Like Binance Coin is about 250 million, it looks like, or almost 300 million higher market cap than Cardano. I thought this would put it up there above Binance Coin. Somebody says, Homeless Andy says, thank you for the super chat. New global partnership with Visa and Crypto.com. Wonder how that will affect the CRO coin. We'll be looking at that, as you guys can see on the rundown. Oh, look, I didn't realize I could be a weather person. Right here, we have Crypto.com on the rundown. You'll notice it right there. Also, I'll buy a vowel. Okay, so let's look at the biggest gainers of the day. I probably messed everything up. Pundi X, man. I can't believe Pundi X is making another run at it here. Up 43%. Harmony continuing to crush it, 39%.
Was that one of the deeper picks that has a grace that was on the list for a Grayscale Trust?
Which one?
Harmony, one?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought it was.
I don't think it was.
Okay.
Somebody can correct us. I don't think it was on the list. So we got Arweave, Siacoin, BitTorrent, Qtum, Theta now up to number 14 in the top 20.
Wow.
Stacks 11.7. That's a Blockstacks token, I believe. We did a video on that a while back.
I know that one was on the list. Stacks.
Yep. Well, no. Blockstack was, I think. They're different.
Oh, I get them mixed up all the time.
Well, they're the same, but they're different. I think. Let's see. Let's look real quick. Blockstack. Is that Blockstack now? Did they change the name?
I think it is.
I think they did. I think you're right. I don't think Blockstack is a coin anymore. Wow. Huh. Learn something new every day, guys. I thought it was an additional coin, like it was their DeFi liquidity coin.
Like their governance token.
Yeah, something like that. But okay, well, I guess it is the same. But yeah, Blockstack is definitely on that list. Let's see, State of Delaware. We'll pull it up real quick. State of Delaware LLC search. Go there. Here it is. Entity search. Search Grayscale. There it is. Boom. Let's see what comes up here. Because that is interesting. We like Blockstack. We worked with Blockstack before. Yeah, it is. Blockstack Trust, STX.
See if you can find Harmony on there.
See if I can find Harmony. It is not on there.
Okay.
Yeah, there is no one for one. Harmony was a Binance Launchpad project.
Gotcha.
It launched with a lot of fireworks back in, I think, about the middle of 2019. So that's what's going on with the markets. Let's look at the biggest winner or losers of the day. We have Cardano down 10%. And we told you guys this. You see an initial run up, and then you will see the price drop. Let's actually pull up real quick the Cardano chart. Let me open it up in a different tab. Take a look at what Market Cipher is saying about Cardano. Here we go. This is the Cardano Bittrex chart. You guys can see, wow, after that big run up, really dropped down pretty big here. This is the daily chart. So that was yesterday. So a lot of people expecting, including myself, Cardano to moon. It did not even, did it make an all-time high? Very close to an all-time high, $1.48, and then it did retrace. But as you guys can see, looking at the daily chart here on Market Cipher, there's nothing really to indicate that a bigger drop is coming. It seemed to bounce off the support here on the EMA. So we'll just have to keep an eye on Cardano. The thing is once these projects kind of pull out their ace card, what do they really have after that? I mean, we know what Cardano does. We love Cardano. We think Cardano is great. We love Charles. But once the liquidity event happened, now what's the next big thing people are going to look to? I think the Grayscale Trust is definitely something people should be watching for Cardano. But, over the short term, we could see some progression back. But ultimately, I think that the market itself is about to start moving next week. And so we could see, something like that for Cardano. I think we will see it over $2 in the near future. but Cardano did not have the same the same kind of run that Polygon had. Now, somebody in the chat, if you could, let us know. I don't think it ever got listed on actual Coinbase. Can y'all look real quick on your apps back there and see? I don't think it's on there right now. I looked, I think this morning, and I didn't see it. So I guess that is actually something to look forward to if you're with Cardano. When it actually does list on regular Coinbase, when that happens, then boom, that's probably when we'll get the move similar to what happened with Polygon. So they're saying Cardano hit $1.85 on Coinbase Pro. So that was the high. But once it goes onto regular Coinbase, that's when the explosion point will be, I believe. So I told you guys that. I told you guys it wasn't necessarily that it was going to go on Coinbase. No, so it did not. So it wasn't going to necessarily have to go on regular Coinbase. If it did, that's when we were going to look for the giant candle. It didn't, but that still gives you something to look forward to if you're in the Cardano community. So in a lot of ways, that card has not been played that I was referring to. So pretty interesting stuff. All right, let's move on and look at Bitcoin, guys, and see where it's going. And guys, right here, when you guys see a candle like this is the 4-hour chart. When you guys see a candle that looks like this, that has virtually no body, what does that mean? That means that the market can't really make its mind up. And it does seem like right now, the market is having a very tough, time figuring out where it wants to go. Now, why is that? It could certainly be because we've looked at a lot about, we've looked a lot at, when it comes to the futures expiring. That's what I was trying to say. I lost my train of thought there. When the futures expire on Fridays, we tend to see drops. So when you see a lot of this mounting pressure, I think of the price going, wanting to go up, the chart saying it should go up, and then it just is sitting still and is being very indecisive. It's not getting a breakout point one way or the other. That, to me, communicates there's a lot of buying pressure, and that the futures expiring is helping to keep the price down a little bit. So let's look at what we got going on here for Market Cipher on the 4-hour chart. Kind of look maybe longer time frames here. Let's see what we got. So if we go back to the 13th, and we were to draw a little line here from the top when it hit 62K. Looks like we didn't really get a rejection point there. Let's see if we can kind of look. We could also have one from here to here. So I don't know, guys. It looks like it's kind of bouncing in sideways action to me right now. That's what I'm seeing. And I think that is due to these futures expiring today. Not nearly as dramatic as it's going to be next Friday. You guys can, I'm telling you guys, you can count on next week a gigantic dump on Friday. So that's why I think we're going to see a lot of excitement. I believe that the weekends are unpredictable, right? We don't know what's going to happen on the weekends. We all know that. But I think this is going to be a weekend of fireworks. I think we are going to see the price go up after the futures expire today. We're going to see a lot of this buying pressure that exists start to push the price up over the weekend. I think it's going to carry on Monday to Thursday next week. I think is a really sweet spot. Of course, if we get a gigantic pump over the weekend, if Bitcoin goes to 65K or something over the weekend, something crazy like that, then that will probably be baked into next week. But I'm definitely looking for, some fireworks. So one thing we're going to actually be doing, which, by the way, if you want to sign up for Bybit, you guys can do that right here on bitboycrypto.com/deals. If you want to get access to Market Cipher and 5% off code, you guys can get that right here. We got Crypto Face coming on for an interview on Sunday. So on Sunday, he's going to be talking to, can you counter trade Market Cipher? Is that possible? Is it that now that so many people have it, that the big boys out there are counter trading it? We're going to ask him that question. We're also going to be asking him a lot about how to exit positions. We're also going to be doing a full Bybit tutorial video tomorrow. We like our videos, if you haven't noticed on this channel, we like our videos to be between 8 and 12 minutes long. That's what we like, okay? Between 8 and 12 minutes long. Why? Because YouTube loves that time. Our interviews might go a little bit longer. My tutorial videos, I still try to stick in that same time. I'm getting a lot of messages from people saying that the Bybit tutorials that we've done are not simple enough. And to make a super simple tutorial, you can't do it in 10 to 12 minutes. So I'm going to be putting out a very long tutorial covering everything there is to know on Bybit this weekend. Then we're going to follow it up with a Market Cipher video on Sunday. We've gotten so many requests for this. And we found that there are some people that are making mistakes just based on not understanding how the site works. And we do not want that. So we're going to be doing one of those videos. It's going to be a little bit different than our traditional tutorial videos, but we definitely want to show you that this weekend. Why am I bringing all that up right now while we're talking about the Bitcoin chart? Well, the reason is because we're getting ready next week to start 100K to a million. We're going to show you guys every trade that we're making in that process. We're going to be doing that with Bybit. We're going to do a fresh account so you guys can see every single trade it takes us to get there, just like we did with 10K to 100K. So next week, we're going to get much bigger on the trading. I think next week's going to be explosive. We're going to back that up by showing you that we're going to be trading next week because we think the price of Bitcoin is going up. What is Bitcoin doing today? According to the 4-hour chart, we did get a little green dot on the momentum wave. You can't even really see it. It's really hidden there. Let's see if there, you can barely see it. Let me get it where you guys can see it exactly where it is. So you guys can see, like right now, when you have these smaller momentum waves on this oscillator, like the one we just had, that's another indication of, just not having direction. We don't know which direction Bitcoin really wants to go in. So if we get one of those crazy, unpredictable weekends and the price goes down, then I'll expect a big run up next week. If we get a crazy, unpredictable weekend where the price goes way up, then we might see a dump on Monday or some sideways action. So right now we're just going to have to check that out. Okay, so there we go. All right. And guys, just so you know, we will never reference a coin or shilling in a super chat. Ever. Literally ever. It will never happen. If it's a major coin that we like, we might talk about it. But if it's not in the top 100, we're not going to be covering it. So
save your money.
Don't waste your money.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, so let's move on. Let's look at some Bitcoin data because we got some really interesting data that I want to show you guys. So last night we covered the Pi Top indicator, which we're going to take another look at. We also covered the stock to flow chart, which we're going to take a look at again here in a second during this section. But there's other indicators. There's so many indicators that will show you when the top of the market is. And just like I said on the video last night, which if you missed it, it was a gem of a video. It's one of my favorite videos we've done in a while, where we really examine like what is the market really, truly, and saying about the direction of the bull cycle. And my indications of everything I've seen is things right now are dicey, but no reason to think that it's turned bearish. And so here we go. We got more charts. Thank you to Glassnode for hooking us up with this account, by the way, as always. They have more data than any other site out there. So if you are into Bitcoin data, you guys can check out the Glassnode Studio. But this is the reserve risk. We've looked at this one before. We obviously know the Nupal, right? We've looked at the Nupal. We've looked at the stock to flow ratio, the stock to flow, what's it called? Do you remember, TJ?
Model? Oh, no. The stock to flow deflection.
Yeah, stock to flow deflection. Those are two top cycle kind of indicators we've looked at. Neither one of them are showing a top of a cycle right now. Here's two more. This is reserve risk. So reserve risk is defined as price divided by HODL bank. It is used to assess the confidence of long-term holders relative to the price of the native coin at any given point in time. When confidence is high and price is low, there's an attractive risk reward to invest. When confidence is low and price is high, then risk versus reward is unattractive. So it's just how risky is Bitcoin at that moment. And looking at the chart, every single time it's peaked into this range, into the 0.02 to 0.06 range, it has crashed. It's been as good of a top of the cycle indicator as any other. And look at where it is right now. We are not even close. Basically, it's akin to where we were in about August of 2017. And in August, the price of Bitcoin was only at $3,300. Went up to 20. That's about a 6x. Right now, where are we sitting at? About 60K. What's a 6x? $360,000. What have I told you the range to look for? Between 300 and 350, or between 300 and 400K. I think that's where we're going. And a lot of people agree with me on that. We're going to look at one of those in a second. But here's another indicator. The Puel multiple is calculated by dividing the daily issuance value of Bitcoin by the 365-day moving average of daily issuance value. This metric was created by David Puel, who may or may not have won a Pulitzer. Sorry, he didn't win one, I don't think. I don't know. Maybe he's a great author. I don't know. I guess it's a journalist, isn't it? Or is it an author? What is a Pulitzer? Isn't it like a media award? I think so.
Yeah.
Is that also the one for books? What is the book award?
It's a writing award, I know, but
maybe it's both. What is the big book award? Somebody put that in there. Maybe it is the Pulitzer. But as you guys can see here, same thing with the Puel multiple. When it peaks up into this red range, that's when you get the top of markets. Look, we're not in the red range. Now, I will say with this one, we are closer to the range. But if you come back and you look at the reserve risk, and this is true with the Nupal as well, it usually doesn't get very high into the red. Usually once it peaks into the red, we see this also with the stock to flow deflection. Once it peaks into the red, it goes down. With the Puel, it usually goes very high up into the red. So someone says, why is Ben wearing hotel carpet? It's because I slept at a Holiday Inn Express last night. That's all. I'm able to give you guys all this good information.
Oh, by the way, you were right. It is it's a Pulitzer Prize as an award for achievements in newspaper, magazine, online journalism, literature, and musical composition. So it's pretty far-reaching.
Yeah, I love being right. It's my favorite thing. Yeah. Okay, so also, well, we'll take a look at this in a second, but the Bitcoin analyst Plan B predicts BTC price will rise above controversial stock to flow forecast. That's $288,000. He's saying he believes it is now going to go above the model, which we have history for. When you look to the actual stock to flow chart, it always goes above the model in the bull runs. Look, here's 2012, 2013. Here's 2017. And now look, right now on this chart, it's showing us right on the model. We should be getting ready to spike above it, and I definitely think we're going to see that. Thank you for those super chats, by the way, that have no questions or comments on them.
That guy can fly.
That guy can fly. Okay, appreciate that. Now, we like comments and questions too, as long as you're not shilling. But let's go back and look at the Pi cycle top indicator, because this is the big one that people are talking about, that they're very worried about, because if you look where the orange line meets the green line, that's when you get to the top of the market. And when you zoom in and you look at where we're at right now, you guys can see this thing is extremely close. It's actually, golly, it's only off by $800, these moving averages. When these moving averages touch, then that means we are probably at the top of the market. I've also got some conflicting data on this to share with you guys. I think it's very interesting, okay? Basically, someone sent me a message. I can't remember who it was. I look at almost every message. I don't respond to any of them. We don't have time. I'm really sorry. I would love to talk to all of you one-on-one. But unfortunately, and we hope in the future we have better avenues and channels to do that. We're still working on it. But just so you guys know, frankly, we're drowning here. Is that right, TJ?
Yes.
Yes. We are drowning. So even taking 30 seconds to answer one message, multiply that by 1,000 messages a day, and you guys understand we just don't have time. Someone sent me a message, and I saw, and by the way, I do want to say this. If you guys ever send me a message asking if you're actually talking to me somewhere else or about something that is a scam possibly, I will always respond to those and tell you it's a scam. So just so you guys know.
So what is that, a hack to get you to respond?
But I will not respond again. Yeah. And I'm not trying to be a douche. I'm not. But it is very important to me if someone thinks they're involved in a scam involving, whether it's an impersonator, or whether it's a cloud mining, or whether it's whatever it is, I'm going to tell you that that's not me because, we have tons of impersonators. It's very unfortunate. I may or may not have been supposed to tell you guys that, but I always will respond if you ask me if something's a scam. So, because I don't want any of you guys to lose money or get hurt. I mean, that's, how bad of a person would I be if I saw that message and I knew it was a scam and I was like, I'm just going to let him get scammed. I would never do that. You guys know that. So anyways, guys, here's the conflicting data I have on this chart. Okay. Someone sent me a message. This is the whole point of this whole discussion. And they said that one of these moving averages is actually weighed down immensely by the early days of the quarantine and the shutdown. And that is something that got thrown into the market cycle, as you know, that made last year between March and April drastically different. Now, by May, Bitcoin had actually recovered and was right about where it should be. So the point is this. There is a chance that even if the lines touch on this model, due to the craziness in March and April, it may not actually signal a top. So if people push this narrative that these lines touch and it's over, then be a little more critically thinking than that. If we get to May and these lines have crossed and they're widened out and that March and April is not taken into consideration anymore, then yeah, we should be worried, probably start moving out of some positions. And I always suggest if you have profits, it's never a bad thing to take profits at any point. But just something to think about with this pie top indicator. So let's move on to this, guys. The government now backing Bitcoin? Is this the case? Is this true? Hester Pierce, one of our favorite people. We should try to get her on the channel, by the way.
Yeah, that'd be good.
U.S. may lose first mover crypto advantage. What? Why does this article even pretend that the U.S. has a first mover advantage in crypto?
You could make the case that a lot of the most dominant, several of the biggest exchanges are U.S. based. You got Kraken and Coinbase and Gemini all here in the U.S.
I mean, they're not nearly as big as the Asian ones, I don't think. Coinbase is big, but it's still not one of the top exchanges. Binance is heads and shoulders above, and I think Huobi is above it. I think there's a lot that are above it.
Yeah, I mean, I would put China in the front if I had to, or someone over there.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that they say this is a first crypto advantage already for Bitcoin or for the U.S. I don't think it is, but it says U.S. I think we've already lost it. I think we can make up ground being a later mover. But anyways, that's a side note. U.S. may lose first mover crypto advantage if Bitcoin ETF not approved, says SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce. And let's see. Do you want me to reference that?
Yeah.
Nicholas said, Hive, that's with a Y, is an Upwork competitor advised by PoonDX and still $10 million cap. Check it out, BitSquad. Well, we might use that.
That's what I was saying.
That's what you're saying, because we're looking for some help on Upwork to fight some scammers, for sure.
So we're looking at. Thanks for that super chat.
Yeah, thanks for that super chat. Appreciate it. Who was the name? Nicholas
Scott.
Nicholas Scott.
$100.
Whoa, $100 from a guy with two first names. You guys know I love those guys. Thanks, Nick. All right. So Hester Pierce is the SEC commissioner. She's sharing her thoughts on the possibility of a Bitcoin exchange traded fund, an ETF, coming to the U.S. market. I think TJ and I just argued about this yesterday on the stream. In a new interview on Thinking Crypto, Commissioner Pierce critiques the SEC's continued decision to withhold approval of a Bitcoin ETF. Pierce remarks that while she understands the hesitancy surrounding the issue because Bitcoin is part of a new asset class, she believes executing too much caution in this case may lose the U.S. an economic advantage over other markets. It's almost like I've been telling you the same thing for years. There's a whole documentary about Dragon Chain and all kinds of stuff that was on the Science Channel that I was on. And I was talking about this 2 years ago. China is going to destroy us if we do not get out ahead of this. And it seems like the United States is finally feeling the pressure from this. She says, you mentioned the exchange-traded products that are trading now in Canada. Of course, we know they have first ETF in North America approved in Canada. They decided to move forward. Their standards, I don't know what they are. They may be different than ours. I mean, they like maple syrup, obviously. But we're also seeing a lot of other kinds of products where people are getting able to access Bitcoin. And here's the point. Hester Pierce is the SEC commissioner right now. What is the holdup? I don't get it. What is the holdup? By the way, Ralph Zagel with a super chatter, Zagari. If Bitcoin is 6x, does that translate into 6x for the rest of the top 10? I would say much higher. I mean, if Bitcoin 6x's, I would say you're looking at least 10 to 12x for a lot of the other crypto projects. I mean, I think 20x even for projects in the top 20 won't be out of the question. The altcoin market consistently outperforms Bitcoin in the altcoin season days. So we might see the altcoin market drop down, but ultimately it will outperform Bitcoin. I believe that 100%. I don't see any way it won't. I mean, it doesn't. And you just have to think of sheer numbers. It doesn't take as much money, and we'll look at this actually in a minute, how much money it takes to move Bitcoin. But it takes more money to move Bitcoin multiple X's than it does. If you put $100 million into Bitcoin, you can move the price like 1x or 1%, not 1x. But if you take $100 million and you put it into the number 10 project, that's going to make it move significantly. So when you really start thinking about that, we usually see these altcoins because they have smaller market caps. That's why they outperform Bitcoin. It's not because they're better than Bitcoin by any stretch of the imagination. But back to this point here, I was making with the SEC and with all this news, and TJ and I were talking about this yesterday. Is it going to be that they make this decision on the ETF before the clock? The clock is 240 days. It just started yesterday. I don't know. The only way they will, there's no precedent for them to decide these decisions early, to make these decisions earlier than the 240 days. They get 45-minute day segments, and they delay it until it gets to 240 days. Then on the last day, they make their decision. But if the United States does start feeling the pressure of getting left behind in blockchain, and you know what's interesting is when we talk about Bitcoin super cycles, this could be, mixed to that dynamite, okay? Because when you start looking at corporations moving ahead of the government in terms of Bitcoin adoption, and look how much money Tesla's made, MicroStrategy's made, and the government sitting there saying, like, I wish we had some more of that stuff, maybe we need to make it easier to buy so the price can go up and then we can get some, and, yada, yada, yada. I can definitely see that happening. So this is really big news, guys. Do not sleep on this. This could lead to the ETF getting, pushed through earlier. And if that happens, then, my gosh, who knows? Maybe next week. Maybe this is the thing next week. So what do you think, TJ?
That'd be wild. I don't know about next week, but it'd be insane if that happened the week before all these futures expire. And
yeah,
it'd be nuts.
Well, I mean, we just did to cover the story yesterday from New York Dig saying something huge is coming next week.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's a different ETF. So that's another thing to keep in mind is there's different clocks.
That was not an ETF in the article from what I read.
They have their own product that they're going to be offering that they have applications for, so that could get approved. That's different from what Van Eck's trying to do. Similar product, but two different companies trying to launch it. And I have a feeling the news coming from NY Dig next week is about their corporate treasury services. And they're going to make it a lot easier for people to hold Bitcoin as part of their corporate treasury, without having to do all the stuff that Square and MicroStrategy and all them have done. And as soon as that gets easy, I think we'll see businesses pile in mass, according to that article. Yeah,
I mean, they're paying attention at this point. Yeah. That's for sure. And also, just along the same lines, Masari CEO thinks that a fresh wave of crypto regulation could be imminent. I'm not going to cover this story too much, but just kind of aligns more with what we were just talking about with the other story. When crypto looks like a toy, it's not a threat. When stablecoins hit PayPal volumes and go private, it starts to look like a weapon. And, I think that it's one of these things where the government just really felt like for so long, like, this thing will fix itself or whatever. That BitBoy crypto, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's talking about Bitcoin. It's not going to do well. Well, you know what? It's here. We've been telling you for years all this was coming, and now here it is. So he said, I've got sell orders set for 80K. He sent his tweet response. This is Michael Selkis or is it Michael Selkis? Ryan Selkis of Masari. He said he's got early sell orders set for 80K, selling 5% at 80 to 100K, another 5% at 100 to 125K. Then we'll see where things go from there. So the big money has selling plans, so don't sleep on that. TJ, aka Heartbreaker? No, it's Dream Killer, guys.
Well,
but actually,
I was gonna say,
yeah.
I mean, we established yesterday you can't really use that.
Yeah, because why, TJ?
Because we were walking through a giant building that was 30,000 square feet, and you'd never dreamed bigger than in that moment when you were sitting there calling me a dream killer.
Yeah, that's actually true. Guys, we're big things are happening. Big things are happening around here.
I'm more like a dream creator.
A dream creator. TJ, the dream creator. Speaking of creation, somebody, look at that. Someone says just turned in fire shirt after fire shirt. BitBoy Ben bringing the heat. Shout out to the missus giving Lark some competition in the shirt game.
That's right.
That's right, missus. That's right. Take that. Not going to be mad at me after today's show. I love you, honey. Okay. Jerome Powell, a digital dollar and physical cash must coexist. So if you didn't know, okay, the idea was actually put into motion during the first pandemic, bill. I forgot what it was called. From last April, they actually tried to squeeze in a digital dollar then. Why? Because a digital dollar will make things much easier to get money to the citizens of the United States. I mean, obviously, there's all kinds of problems with the last stimulus money. The last stimulus, not the one that they're printing out this week, who knows what is going to happen with that, but the one from, I guess it was December, the $600 checks, I think about 15% of people did not get theirs because of a bank error, because of something to do with TurboTax and something with the bank accounts and things like that. So just think about how much easier it would be with digital wallets. So Jerome Powell, who's the chairman of the Fed, he stated that a central bank digital currency, or a CBDC, won't remove the need for physical cash in the near future. Instead, a digital US dollar would work in tandem with the physical fiat version. CBDC needs to coexist with cash. So this is interesting what they're saying. What they're saying now is, we're not going to necessarily have a digital dollar that by itself is just, unto its own. They're going to have to keep cash going with it. Now, I tell you what I think about when I see this. I always like to go to the money supply. Now it's the M2 money supply. I love to show this chart because it's ridiculous. This says the M2 money stock is discontinued. Is there an M3 now? Did this just happen?
Money stock.
Weren't we looking at it before?
Look, M3 money stock discontinued.
M3 discontinued. How much money do you have to go?
Try M5.
Money stock, that's the United Kingdom.
M4 discontinued.
Well, guys, I guess cash is over. Wow. We have no more money in the United States. This is really, really troubling. I don't know what it is. That's very interesting. Maybe they named it something different. We'll just go to the M1 money supply because even though it is ridiculous, you guys can see. Look at that thing. Look at that. Joke. That's our money supply, y'all.
What's crazy is look at 2010. I mean, it's still that's a huge spike, and you can't even tell.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Unbelievable when you look at this. Look at that. Look at this. Hello, pandemic. Hello, Clarice. So when you look at this, okay, we've talked about before. We've looked at it with our Great Reset series with the helicopter money. We went back and we looked at the beginning of money and the beginning of using gold and how the Romans and the Greeks, they devalued their own currency by removing gold and putting in bronze and other stuff. Same way we do by printing more money on a printing press. It's the same idea. When you look at this M1 money supply and you understand that this thing is gone, it is done, okay? They discontinued it even, supposedly, but now I guess they have a new one. I don't know what's going on with the M's, but the point is, once it gets to this stage, okay, the parabolic stage, they call this helicopter money. This is the end of your civilization's currency. We are at the end of the US dollar. So the fact that the chairman of the Fed, Jerome Powell, is saying, you know what, we're going to need still cash along with this digital dollar. This tells you they are ushering in a transition. We are going to be transitioning from cash into all digital currency. You can bet your bottom Satoshi on that. And they obviously are not going to do this overnight. This isn't going to happen just like that. So because of that, I'm very bullish on digital dollar, very bullish on what's going on. And I've told you guys for a while, there's going to be a two-part process to get Bitcoin to be, the currency of the world or whatever the case may be. It's going to be basically where, we have to go through one stage and then get to the second stage where Bitcoin is either the asset that is actually the currency, which I don't think will happen. I think we'll have a stable coin that is pegged to Bitcoin. Why would that be? Because the stable coin would be faster than Bitcoin and just better for transactions. I think that's what we'll see, but this digital dollar certainly is phase one of that. So guys, let's look at manipulation because this is another really interesting story. I told you guys, we had some really interesting stories today. Bank of America claims it cost just $93 million to move Bitcoin's price by $1. Or by 1%, sorry, excuse me. $93 million to move Bitcoin's price 1%. Bank of America strategists have estimated that it takes inflows of just $93 million to move Bitcoin's price by 1%. Well, when you come over here and you look at the actual supply of Bitcoin, or the actual statistics for it, the actual market cap, it's about $1.1 trillion. So 93 million, could somebody do some math on that? What is that? What is 1.1 trillion divided by 93 million? And if somebody could get that answer, that would be great. Because what you'll find is it's actually much lower than 1% of the price of Bitcoin. So it takes way less than 1% of the Bitcoin supply, or of the market cap, way less than 1% of the market cap to move the market cap 1%. You may be asking why that is. Well, that's probably, or it's definitely actually, due to leverage, because there's not actually a one-to-one dollar-to-dollar amount in that market cap. A lot of that is on leverage and derivatives. And if you know anything from this channel, we've talked about it before. The whole financial system is basically a big Ponzi scheme. And when you look at derivatives and how crazy they are, like, yay, let's trade them, let's make money, let's trade on Bybit. That's great. I love doing it. But it's all crazy. You're all trading stuff that doesn't even really exist. I'm borrowing from you, who's borrowed from another guy, who's borrowed from another guy, who got a loan from another guy. And then ultimately, we count that in the financial system. There's a quadrillion dollars of derivatives in the world. Quadrillion. There's only 500 trillion real market dollars out there. There's another 66% of our overall money supply that's in derivatives when you think about it. And some say that's a low estimate. But anyways, the analysis found it would take at least $2 billion worth of inflows to move the price of gold by a single percentile, while more than $2.25 billion will be needed to exert the same price impact on 20-year plus treasury bonds. What's the number there? 0.008%. Some people are getting, it looks like, or I also saw 0.118%. So it's less. It's around 0.1% to move the supply 1%, or move the market cap 1%. Excuse me. Pretty interesting. I've heard those numbers before, but never actually, Bank of America got ahead of us and actually did the research here to figure out what it is.
What's interesting to me is, why are they doing that research?
Yeah.
Why are they researching how much money to put into something to move the asset price? I wonder.
Why would they be doing that? The bank?
Yeah.
The most honest people around? Very interesting. With Bitcoin's nearly $1.1 trillion market cap, equating to roughly 10% of gold's, the research suggests Bitcoin is twice as volatile as gold per dollar inflow, despite the asset existing nearly a dozen years. So they also went on to say here, Bitcoin's still poised for volatility. More information from Bank of America. And here they cover the same stuff there, but also, according to the Bank of America research team, Bitcoin's room for such latent volatility is a result of whale investors holding such stock in the market. Very interesting they use the word stock there. But the largest addresses, according to their data, have not been selling since this time last year. This correlates with the beginning of the pandemic. So, once again, we go back to Glassnode, and we go over here to addresses, and we look at the troubling chart that we've seen here. And look at that, it just continues to fall too, which is so interesting. This is, let's see here. Let me zoom in on this here, see what's happening in the shorter term here. This is the amount of whale addresses that are holding more than 1,000 BTC in them. Okay?
That's a lot.
And it just continues to fall. It's so interesting. Now, is this a fake out by some of the bigger money to make you think that these numbers are going down in order for them to push the price down? Possibly. But what we also looked at is the number of addresses with over 100 Bitcoin is on an uptrend. It's very specifically this one set of addresses that is 1K Bitcoin or more.
Well, I think that could be people with 1,000 Bitcoin just spreading it out over other wallets too. Yeah. So if you got 1,000 Bitcoin, you split it into 5 wallets, then the number of wallets with 100 plus goes up, but the number of wallets with 1,000 plus goes down.
Well, so interesting. TJ, did you watch my video last night?
No.
Oh, because we talked about that for the whole time, TJ.
Okay. There you go.
There we go. Yeah, so smart people know, and so does TJ. I'm just kidding. TJ's very smart. Okay. But he came to work here, so obviously you guys know he knows how to pick them. But the point here is that we see a lot of dispersing of this bigger Bitcoin. And the interesting thing is, when you look at this, okay, from Bank of America, they say the biggest addresses, the very, very, very biggest addresses out there are not selling. So it makes you think that you've got a layer of people that own Bitcoin that are trying to do price manipulation, that are trying to fake people out. But the ones with the biggest wallets, they're just sitting there. They're not doing anything. So somebody says, let's see what that is. Paul D says, what are your thoughts on tokenization of real estate during this bull run? Any good plays there? I don't have any specific plays for you on that, but I will say I do think tokenization of real estate, both real, physical, and digital, is going to be big.
It will be huge. I bet that really spikes next cycle, if I had to guess.
I think it's still a little too early right now. I think we'll see some of that in the peak.
Yeah.
We saw some of that in the last peak, but it does feel like it's a little ahead. Mayors across U.S. exploring Bitcoin payment options. You can go to the next thing. For residents and employees, says Francis Suarez, or as I call him, old Frank. He is the mayor of Miami. Miami Mayor Francis Suarez says he's receiving positive feedback on his proposal to expand Bitcoin's use cases for residents and employees with his city. We all know, right? Like Miami supposedly is becoming blockchain city in America. The next Silicon Valley, if you will, is going to be Miami. It wants to be the blockchain center hub of the world. And I think it's very interesting. It's got a great, use case for that because, rich people love the beach, right?
Yeah.
And Hawaiian shirts. In a new interview on Fox Business, Suarez says the response to his proposal, which would allow residents to pay taxes with Bitcoin and for employees to receive their salary, is overwhelmingly positive. So this right here is very interesting, guys. Can I not highlight this? Why can't I not highlight this? I guess that's why it wasn't highlighted. I can tell you the reaction has been overwhelmingly positive. I think the tweet that I put out with the resolution, I think got 2 million views, 6.5 million impressions. That's more than Frank Caliendo. And I've gotten calls from mayors and former governors across the country that are looking at doing something similar. Not only is Miami looking to do this, but now other cities across America are starting to consider doing this. Do you live in a forward-thinking city? Is the mayor of your city thinking about going into Bitcoin? I don't know. Drop that below. Let me know. What do you think? Tell me where you live and tell me whether you think your mayor's on this list. He says the move towards further crypto adoption in his own city is driven by demand. We want to be known as the most technologically forward-thinking city in America. You can take meaningful small steps to helping Bitcoin and cryptocurrency become mainstream. It's something that can create a tremendous amount of attention for your city. Hopefully, Miami will be the most crypto-friendly city in the country, and I think that's going to be part of our brand to be forward-thinking and pushing forward on new technology. And we've seen this, a lot, right? Well, we are actually going to be going to Miami. So we're going to be going to Miami for 2 different events. If you would like to come meet us in Miami, we have the Miami Crypto Experience. I don't think this is the right website for it, for the actual code. But it's April 21st through April 23rd. So if you want to come see us and hang out, I'm not sure if we'll be there for all 3 days for this one. It's a fully immersive cryptocurrency event for all levels of knowledge, NFT, art gallery, auction, breakout workshops for trading, mining, DeFi, NFTs, beginner basics, and more. Intercontinental Miami Hotel and Event Center. Now, I'm actually going to be giving a talk on DeFi, not NFTs, on DeFi. We'll be having our own NFT to go with it. They're actually making an NFT for the event. And we'll have a promo code for this one. I don't know where it is right now. We just started this yesterday. With this will be our first conference we will go to in years, actually.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So me and TJ will be there. I guess TJ will be there.
Yeah.
I would think.
I'll be there.
He likes crypto.
Yeah.
Am I right?
I like it. I like NFTs.
So we do have that one going on. We're going to talk NFTs and DeFi on that one. Also, guys, Bitcoin, it's b.tc/conference. It's the Bitcoin 2021 conference in Miami, June 4th through the 5th. Bitcoin 2021 is moving to Miami. You guys can actually get 10% off by using the code BitBoy10 for this conference.
That's BitBoy10.
Yeah, BitBoy10, correct. Also known as BitBoy10. But
not
it is specifically the numbers.
Yeah, not TEN.
Right.
Yeah.
So Bitcoin 2021 is going to be a big conference. Tony Hawk is going to be there. Actually, I'm going to be talking about Tony Hawk a little bit on tonight's video because he's involved big time in a coin that we've been looking at. It's got a lot of our attention. So we'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. But we're excited to go down there, and we want you guys to come too. So there are limited events for this. Oh my gosh. The Bully is going to be there. The Bully! Chamath Palihapitiya. Yeah. What do you think? You think he's going to stare me down?
I doubt it.
Probably not. I haven't said anything bad about him, but I do think it's funny that he was the bully at Facebook. But Tony Hawk will be a headline speaker. He is into Bitcoin. So we want you guys to come down to that conference with us and hang out. Come on over to the beach. I don't know if I'm out there at the beach. You may get me confused with a beached whale, but I will be there. Are there whales in Miami?
No.
There will be when I come down there.
Oh.
Oh, I'm just kidding. That was a joke, guys. Okay, so somebody said 70 point down wick a couple nights ago, killed momentum. It was 3K ETH. I don't know what you're talking about there, David. Don't know which chart that's on, or I'd be able to find that. But okay, so next we got a story about Morgan Stanley. They're reportedly planning to buy, and this is a big story, guys. $440 million stake in crypto exchange. Bithumb? Bythumb?
BitHum.
But Bithumb?
Yeah.
Bithumb? Bythumb? Yeah, I think it's Bythumb. I mean, that makes the most sense. It's when your thumb can go either way. It's an opposable thumb. Am I right?
That
That's a
makes
buy
the
thumb.
most sense. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So basically, the long and the short of this here is that if you didn't know, I think it is BitHum, actually. That's what I've always called it, which is the most weirdly spelled exchange in existence. I think it is Korean, I believe. It is a big exchange. Morgan Stanley's planning to buy $440 million in this thing. We just covered a story yesterday talking about Morgan Stanley getting ready to jump into crypto full force, and it looks like this is what it is. And TJ, we kind of talked about before, I know you've talked about before, why some of these companies could be buying stake in some of these exchanges or in other, kind of crypto public companies.
I think there's a lot of reasons for them to do it. I mean, it's kind of like our strategy of like what we talk about. When there's a gold rush, Wells Fargo sold the lights and the pickaxes and the shovels and all that kind of stuff. This is a very similar way for these financial entities to get involved in crypto. Then they can have a stake in it, offer products, and sell the services required for people to get and hold Bitcoin, and that's probably how they see themselves making the most money to profit off of it.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to get in any way they can get in.
Right.
And so here's the story. Just a few days after news broke that Morgan Stanley will enable its institutional clients to buy Bitcoin, the giant investment bank has reportedly started negotiations to purchase a stake in the largest South Korean cryptocurrency exchange, BitHum. I guess, BitHum. That's how I'm going to say it. I think they just got confused. I think they meant to make it BitThumb, and they just didn't realize they should have added an extra T. Somebody made a spelling mistake. According to coverage from the Asian media website, Naver News, Morgan Stanley, there's a joke there somewhere, but I'm going to leave it alone. Morgan Stanley is the latest prominent entity from the traditional finance space to consider a purchase in BitHum. The giant bank reportedly plans to acquire a major stake in the popular crypto exchange through Bident, which is a dent. Now I'm going to leave that alone as well. An entity that owns 10.3% of BitHum Korea. By citing an anonymous person familiar with the matter, the report indicated that Morgan Stanley plans to invest about 300 to 500 billion won, which is their currency there, I think, which is between 250 to 440 million dollars. Where's Kit from Napoleon Dynamite? Let's see here. Kit Napoleon Dynamite. Things are getting serious. Okay. This right here is what I'm thinking. Okay. So I guess you could say things are getting pretty serious. All right. Do you guys love Kit? I think that I was looking at some stats from this movie. It is so insane how little these people got paid to make this movie that's so iconic. Yeah. If you love Napoleon Dynamite, make sure to smash that like button.
Yeah.
If you like cryptocurrency, smash that like button. If you enjoyed the fact that Kit ended up with, or it's Kip. Is it Kip? Kip, right? Yeah. I'm saying it wrong. That Kip ended up with LaFonda. Make sure to smash that like button. That was such a great movie. I tried to watch that movie the first time, and I couldn't get through about 5 minutes of it. And then I watched it the second time, and I realized, man, I was really dumb. What a great movie. But this is how I feel in cryptocurrency, right? Like, I guess you can say things are getting kind of serious, okay? Because when you're looking at J.P. Morgan, when you're looking at Morgan Stanley, when you're looking at George Soros Foundation, when you're looking at all this big money, the biggest money in the world getting into crypto, and not just through institutional channels, because this is what you have to notice here, okay? We always talk about institutional money dragging the price down. We've looked at a lot of manipulation, especially with Ethereum, with the institutional investors, okay? With the giant funds, with the hedge funds. That's all they do in the traditional market is manipulate, okay? But when you have a place like Morgan Stanley getting into the crypto exchange world, number one, that tells you that probably BitHum is going to be coming over to the United States at some point. I mean, I would take that to mean that. I don't know what you think, Tia. Do you think that's probably a good...
Say what? Sorry.
Caught him napping. Don't you think with Morgan Stanley getting involved in this, that it probably means that BitHum will be coming over to the United States at some point?
Yeah, or at least an extension of it.
Yeah.
They'll have a U.S.-based exchange probably. Basically, they'll use this kind of like a clearinghouse, if I had to guess.
Yeah. So that's number one. But number two, and I've always said this about Binance, right? Like, Binance has so much incentive to try to make the prices go up, right? Mm-hmm. Because when prices go up, people trade more. And when people are trading more and they're making money, that's more money for Binance, okay? I thought that was great when they bought CoinMarketCap, because I was like, CoinMarketCap didn't care about the prices because they just got paid based on how many people visited the website. When Binance bought it, like, hey, they had some motivation to make it better and to change some of the rankings and things like that. Morgan Stanley has now got motivation for people to trade crypto.
Yep.
If they're buying it that big of a stake in BitHum. And it makes you wonder what other gigantic corporate funds or investment funds are going to be getting involved in the crypto exchange game.
Well, it's kind of like Goldman Sachs buying Circle at the peak of the last run. So it's now all these other investment banks are trying to keep up and not fall behind Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think big things are coming from the institutional side. We know big stuff is coming. Somebody said, "Eat your lard, Tina." Tina, eat your lard. That was such a great movie. I could talk about that movie all day. It's such a good one. Also, that movie is where I discovered, speaking of Crypto.com here, which you guys all know that their logo is the lion. I also discovered the liger from Napoleon Dynamite. If you didn't know, liger's a real animal made in a lab, and they have several of them around the United States. I actually saw one at some point. Went to a place in Pine Mountain, Georgia, a little safari down there, where they had a liger. I thought when I watched the movie, I was like, what kind of mythical animal is this? Found out it's real. It's real. Oh, somebody says, let's talk about Omi. Finally passed a cent yesterday. Let's be Omi. Let me tell you, there are a few projects right now that I'm really kicking myself for not getting involved with. Ecomi actually offered us a sponsor video. And they said, we love for you to cover it, whatever. You guys have no idea how many requests we get for that stuff. We hardly do any sponsor video on this channel. We do less than 1% probably of what comes in. And it's just a matter of that was one we had on the list. We did an AMA with them and we thought it was good. And we just didn't have time to do the video. We turned it down. And it's like, what a bad decision that was. Ecomi's going to be big, guys. It's going to be really big. It's going to be really big. I own zero Ecomi, by the way. Zero. I own zero OMI. I am kicking myself because that one is going to keep going up, I think, for a while. It's got an app. I'm not going to give away too much information about it right now. That's what I'll say. No, you give away too much info about it. But we do love OMI. We do think it is going to be really, really big.
But check out tonight's video.
No, don't say that.
Oh.
Don't say that, TJ. No. Wow, you really botched that one up.
Yeah.
Okay, but we are not just so everybody knows, we have $0 in OMI, and I wish that I did. I'm kicking myself for not having it, but it will be covered in tonight's video because TJ let the cat out of the bag.
My bad.
Yeah. Visa taps deeper into Bitcoin through new global partnership with Crypto.com. Today, Hong Kong-based payment and cryptocurrency platform Crypto.com announced a global partnership with Visa that also includes principal membership in Visa's network in Australia. The company also plans to roll out fiat lending against Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as collateral via the Crypto.com Visa card. And it says, with Visa principal membership, Crypto.com will begin direct issuance of the Crypto.com Visa card in Australia and scale the program into new markets. This has been a big problem for Crypto.com as they've not been available in every single market out there, and now they're getting in Australia, which to me, Australia is like right behind the United States. It's the most regulated country out there. What is it called out there? Austrac is basically their SEC. They are so strict. That's why they made Binance and for Australian customers get rid of privacy coins. They've done a lot of other stuff. I know there was a really cool project like a long time ago. Probably the first 6 months my channel was going that I had done a video with, and I was very excited about it. It looked like it was going to be really, really cool. And they called me one day and they're like, hey, the video you made about us? I was like, yeah. They're like, we need to take it down because we're getting totally shut down by Austrac. And I was just like, wow. Like they were trying to do something positive, and they had a whole department that was working hand in hand with them to get everything regulated. It's just really tough in Australia. So the fact now the Crypto.com card will be available there, I think it's really good, really big news. And then in addition to that, also right now they're shipping cards in Japan, Korea, Latin America, the Middle East, Africa, and Turkey. Ultimate objective is to make services available everywhere outside of China. So are we going to see the Crypto.com price pump based on this news? We could potentially, as you guys can see, it's already up 26% for the week, up about 6% as of today. You guys know we do love Crypto.com. We do love CRO Card. We are like an ambassador for them. We've worked with them for a really long time. And I told you guys I thought CRO would be one of the biggest coins of this year. And it started falling. Like, they made a dramatic changes. Why? Because their model was not profitable. Because their model of giving away so much, crypto and staking and so much, for Crypto.com card signups, they weren't going to be a profitable company. So they had to scale back on that, reformat what they were doing, and it turned out to be really positive for them. They got rid of the MCO card or coin, which was the original coin for Crypto.com, and now you're seeing them bounce back. They were in the top 10. They were actually in the top 10 I think fall of last year, and they started falling. They got all the way down in between 30 and 40, I believe, and now it's back up to number 18. So it's definitely a coin that we have an eye on. And also, if you do want to check out the Crypto.com card, I just dropped my Diet Ruse beer. But Crypto.com, you can go to the URL, which, believe it or not, is Crypto.com, which, by the way, they bought for $12 million. That was quite a big purchase for a domain. Makes our $2,500 purchase of hitnetwork.com seem like it wasn't that bad. But you can go there, the world's fastest growing crypto app. Now, you can go to products up here and come down here to metal Visa cards. This is what we love. We love the cards. I use my Crypto.com card all the time. Oh, look at this. Wow, this is new. Oh, they just redid this.
That's
look
cool.
Wow. I got the Jay Green card back here. I want to get the higher card, but they won't give it to me for free, so I got to pay for it. And you know what? That's okay. I don't mind paying for it. But the colors just kind of suck for that next higher up level above the Jay Green. It's they call it rose gold. It's flesh color. I don't want a flesh color card. I'm sorry. Like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do if I'm out, trying to get a popsicle, on a hot day at the beach, and I'm holding up my card here, and the guy can't distinguish it from my body? I don't think that's going to be good. I don't want to do that. You can top it up with fiat or crypto, and you can get the Crypto.com card tiers. I feel like I'm saying a tongue twister here because everything starts with a C. But they've actually redone this page. Wow, I did not know. They must have redone this in the last few weeks. They redid their website. You guys can get access to the cards here. If you want to get $25 for free for getting the card, you guys can use the code BitBoy. We do have a link on bitboycrypto.com/deals. You can use the code BitBoy, and when you sign up, you get $25 for free. I get $25 too, so full disclosure there on that. But I have the Royal Indigo and Jade Green card. I have the Jade. I don't have Indigo because I don't want a purple card. No offense to guys that like purple. I like pink, apparently. My wife thinks. But there's the Obsidian card. It shows you how much CRO you have to stake. Shows you the equivalent amount in US dollars. So $4,000 for this level, $400 for the Ruby Steel. So that's not too bad. Raymond Johnson says, I stumbled into 1,337 bit and saw wild moves up, then read about DexKit. Should I just hodl? And are the DexKit people made of serious stuff? We love DexKit. And TJ, you actually have a friend that is doing some work with us that also really loves DexKit.
I do, yeah. And DexKit's a solid project. It's a pretty cool tech. They're probably pretty far ahead of the curve on where crypto's going as far as providing options for everybody to have their own deck, like personalized DEX as a service, coin as a service. Like, they've got some really cool tools, and they're building a really good all-purpose toolkit, so to speak, for a lot of different people to create their own stuff. So I think as the demand rises for people launching their own projects and, people that already have communities trying to activate them in different ways, like with NFTs and things like that, I think as time goes on, they'll get more and more and more relevant. It's definitely a long-term project.
Yeah, we love DexKit and BitT, which you can find on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap. That's the Bit token. It's the BitBoy community token. We don't run the token. We don't have anything to do with it. I am an advisor for it, technically, but I don't ever even know what they're doing. And like, that's being ran in another part of the world. And, Bit token is going to be an example of what happens with the community. We don't talk about it a lot on the channel because we don't want anybody to get confused on who's running that thing or what our idea of it is. But it's a long-term hold for us. We think that BitToken is going to end up being, the best example of what a community token can be. And DexKit has allowed us to do that. And we've got the gas-free limit orders on BitSwap on the version 4 of BitSwap, Dex.io. That's coming very, very soon. So really cool stuff. We're also looking at Kit and BitT moving on over to the Binance Smart Bridge pretty soon. So CZ, call me about that, I think. That's what they asked me. They asked me to ask him. So anyways, guys, last thing I want to talk about, NFT Craze. Okay, so right now, NFT coins are starting to fly. Now, tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to reveal to you 3 coins to $3 million. 3 NFT coins that could make you a millionaire. And there's one of them that is pretty low, in regards to, or in respect to the other ones on the list. 2 of them are coins that have already done very well, but I think they're going to do better. One of them is highly, I don't even want to say it's highly speculative. It's just low on coin market cap. I don't think it is highly speculative. I think it's going to crush it. It's got some of the biggest money in the space behind it. You guys will know what that means when you watch a video tonight. Why are NFTs important right now? It doesn't matter. What does matter is they are important. In crypto, we see things move in cycles. Yes, we have the 4-year cycle for Bitcoin based on the halving chart or the halving event, and you see it bear out. It makes the whole world of crypto very predictable, okay? But within that, we have smaller micro cycles where you have different types of coins that are the coin of the day, okay? Go back to early 2019. It was exchange coins. They were exploding, right? You had Binance coin that shot way up. It had been dead forever, seemingly, after it went kind of out of style until the last few months, okay? The exchange coins were crushing it. KuCoin shares was crushing it. The OKX coin, the Leo, the coin for Bittrex, they were all crushing it, okay? Had a lot to do with these token launch pads that all of these exchanges started, okay? If you got in on that, you made a lot of money. Last year, DeFi. Now, people would argue NFTs are part of DeFi. That is definitely an argument. But DeFi in general, farming coins, staking, yield farming, these coins were blowing up. You had Compound, Aave, Synthetics, Maker, all of these projects just booming. And if you did not jump on the craze in the early days, right when it started getting popular, then you would have caught it on the downside. It lasted, though, for a long time. I was late into DeFi. I was definitely late into DeFi. That's why in the NFT space, this is the new craze. NFTs has replaced DeFi as the top focal point for all of cryptocurrency. We looked at, if you go and you look at CoinMarketCap and you start looking at the top projects and their relationships to NFTs, you'll find the same way that every project was trying to find a way to get into DeFi, they're all trying ways to get into NFTs. Ethereum, obviously, is the home of NFTs. I mean, right now. The gas fee is outrageous, but it is. Binance Coin, CZ pushing NFTs now. Cardano now with their own NFTs. I know Crypto Crow's working on something, I think, with Cardano for NFTs. Polkadot, obviously going to be a big player in that space. And you start going down this list and you start looking at some of these biggest movers. Theta, we're actually going to be doing an NFT launch with Theta. Engine, Wax, we're doing a launch with Wax as well. And you really start going down the list and you really start realizing that the time for this is now. It doesn't last forever. This craze of NFTs will only last for probably like 6 months or so. We're probably already about 6 weeks into it, 4 weeks, 6 weeks into it, where it's been the focal point. The best opportunities in crypto lies when you can take advantage of these crazes and what's hot, look for projects to put money into, and ride that to the top. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. Maybe I should say that more. I would think that you guys, I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt, right? Like, y'all have to know I'm not a financial advisor. But the fact is I've been in this space long enough now to where I've seen this over and over and over and over again, right? Smart contract platforms at one time were the hottest thing going. You have to be able to be fluid in cryptocurrency to maximize your gains. And right now, NFT is the focal point. Tonight is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just like I mentioned earlier, we will be having a really big NFT video that has what I think is one of the biggest potential projects. I mean, I'm just going to say, I think it's an, I got to be careful when I say stuff like this, but I think it's an easy 25x. Easy. We actually looked at the numbers, and I'll talk about the numbers in the video tonight. When you look at what's behind this project, one of these coins, you're going to be super impressed when you watch the video, and you'll find that this is not hype. This is, you kind of have two different kinds of projects in crypto, okay? You have super speculative projects that are put together by people. Now, of course, you have a lot of scams. You have stuff that's nothing burgers. I'm talking about two different types of good projects. You have one that's built all for tech. It's built for the tech. It's got some of the smartest people in the world, but it doesn't have necessarily like the financial backing behind it, okay? It doesn't have, a lot of pizzazz, right? If you look at something like, Cardano had big money behind it. I'm trying to look for a coin that would be similar to this. Something like maybe Terra or Luna, something like Solana. Solana doesn't have a lot of hype behind it, right? It's starting to get some. It's had some in waves. Just really good tech project, and it can make it on the merits of what makes up the project. Then you have other projects. They're slam dunks. They're slam dunks because the people behind them are the people that make this entire space. And when you start learning that, and you start seeing the cycles at which the biggest money in the entire space puts money into different projects, that's where you can go from being a thousandaire to a millionaire pretty quick. In my opinion, I think the NFTs are going to be a huge thing for this entire bull cycle. I think the NFTs may be the hottest thing for this entire bull cycle. What do you think about that, DJ?
Could be, yeah. NFTs, yeah. I think the NFTs could be the biggest craze for this cycle for sure.
And the reason why I say that is because it bridges. Were you literally sleeping back there, TJ?
No, I have to scoot over to end
scoot
it.
over. He was lounging back in the chair.
No, I was waiting to turn the music up and switch the switch.
Oh, you were ready for me to end it?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Well,
I was just getting going.
We have to be on another call in 2 minutes.
We do have to be on another call. But the reason why I think NFTs has the great possibility to do that is because it is bridging the mainstream gap. We're seeing people asking us about crypto that would never been interested if not for NFTs. So make sure you come to 96 and watch that video. It's going to be a good one. But even if you don't like any of the projects we talk about today, I'm telling you guys, this is the cycle. This is the craze. Right now, NFTs is where it's at. Buying NFTs is big. Getting in tokens that are backing behind NFTs is also going to be a giant opportunity, I think, for the BitSquad and for the crypto community at large. What do you think? Let me know what you think the biggest area of cryptocurrency is going to be for this bull run. Make sure to drop that down below. I appreciate you guys a whole lot. That's all I got. Be blessed. Good boy out.